So this week I'd like to talk about sharps and flats. Now, a sharp is the little hashtag symbol here, and a flat looks like a small B. And you see these in front of single notes and mostly in front of chords. So if you see D, open D, and then you see a chord D sharp, how do you play that? Now, sharp just means raise all the notes by 1 fret. And a flat is the opposite, lower all the notes by 1 fret. So in the case of a D, to play D sharp, you need to raise all of these notes by 1 fret. Now, when you've got your fingers on the frets, it's easy, you just move everything up 1. But with D, you've got an open string. So if you try to do the same shape, you can't raise the open string. So what you need to do is finger it in a different way. So if you play D with these fingers and you put the first finger on that raised fret. So from the open D up to D sharp, and that's how you do it. If you go one further, you've got E, one further F, one further F sharp, G, G sharp, etc. Now, with the D sharp, you could also think of it as E flat, because remember up here we played E. If you take it down 1, it's also called E flat. They sound exactly the same. D sharp, E flat sound the same, but according to what key you're in, this has all got to do with music theory, it will be called D sharp or E flat. We're not worried about the theory at the moment, we're just worried about how do you play these sharp and flat chords. So here is D. Let's go to C. So there's C. Now C has got 2 open strings in it, the 3rd and the 1st. So if you want to play C sharp, you can't just move the fingers up and keep the open strings. It sounds very strange and even nasty. How do you cover the open strings? Well, again, you have to use different fingering. So use that and get the first finger in as a half bar covering the 3rd string and 1st string. You can see from C to C sharp. Then you can keep going. That's a different way of playing D, D sharp, E, etc. Now, if we go to a chord like G, if you want to play G sharp, you could move all the fingers up 1 and try to get that first finger in there on the 1st fret. That's possible, but it's quite a stretch. It's much easier to do that higher up the neck, say E. Well, I say easier, it's still a stretch. C rather, not E. That would be C. So moving the G up is a little bit tricky. But what you can do is, instead of playing the full chord, you could just do that, which means you've got, which is like an open G with muting the 5th string. You play the 3rd fret, 6th string, and then you've got the open 4th, 3rd and 2nd string. And then when you move that up, it's much easier. You've got G sharp, another one you've got A sharp or B flat, it's the same, and B. And of course this is great for all the rock and roll stuff. And the last shape we're going to cover is an E. Now this one, you move it up with the open strings and you get this kind of Spanishy sound, which is really cool. But if you want to play an F, you have to change the fingering and put the dreaded bar chord you go one further to F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, or B flat, it's all the same. So there you have it. And of course exactly the same thing happens with minor chords. So there's E minor, F minor, F sharp minor, G minor, G sharp minor, or A flat minor. Here, A minor. You have to be using bar chords for lots of these chords. But you don't necessarily have to use all of the strings. So if you've got an open chord, that's the A minor, you could just play the inside 4 strings. And then when you take it up from A minor to A sharp minor, you don't need to use a bar chord. You can just play the inside 4, which is oftentimes much easier. That's C minor, inside 4 strings. With the bar chord, if you want to hear that top first string as well, you need to use the bar. And there's D minor. This one you move it up. See, the shape is the same. You don't need a bar for this, you can do it. So there we go, it's quite a long video this for explaining how you use sharps and flats. Just remember, sharp means 1 fret higher and flat means 1 fret lower. Hope you found it useful. See you next time.